Hello. So, I'm going to be a little bit quiet in this video because everybody's asleep. Everybody's asleep but me. I don't want to wake them up. But this is the only time I can film a video. It's been a while since I've talked about my dreams or anything of that nature. And so I was just going to share some dreams I've had recently with you guys, just to pray about, mull on, see if it confirms anything God's speaking to you too. Feel free to comment down below if these speak to you in any way, and if God's been speaking anything like this to you also. So, June 30th, I had a dream. Hold on. I thought I was going to sneeze. Do I have to sneeze? Maybe. Okay, I think I'm okay. June 30th, I had a dream. There was a man who wanted to cut my hair, but I knew in the dream that he was wearing a wig. And in my head, in the dream, I saw him taking the wig off. And so in the dream, I was like, I know you're wearing a wig, just take it off. And he refused to admit it was a wig. And I said, I would rather cut my own hair than have you cut my hair. And that was the whole dream. What I believe this dream is about hypocrisy in the church. I believe the cutting of the hair is a kind of a correction or a rebuke, or cutting something away from somebody, and yet it was something that person had no experience in, because in the dream they had no hair of their own. And so I've actually seen this in the body lately, obviously not in this literal fashion, but where we're trying to correct people and things that we're not even walking in ourselves. Like, it's fine to know what the destination is. Like, of course I'm going to preach that Jesus said to raise people from the dead, even though I haven't raised anybody from the dead myself. I get that. But whenever you're angry at the church for not living up to a certain level or walking in a certain thing that you aren't walking in yourself, there comes the speck versus the plank situation. I think that's what the dream was about, was that there is this hypocrisy happening in the church that I don't even think we realize sometimes that we're doing. I had another dream. I'm gonna skip that one for now. On the 5th of July, where I was going around evangelizing and prophesying over people on the street, and somebody came up to me while I was doing this and said, "Can I prophesy over you?" And I said, "Sure, you can practice on me." And they started prophesying something that was completely inaccurate. And I was like, no, wait, stop. In the dream. Oh, it's raining. Hopefully that's not too loud. Anyway, what I felt like that dream was saying is that we're trying to disciple too quickly. That I was sitting here evangelizing and prophesying over people and then expecting them to turn around and do the same thing back to me right after. And it doesn't always work that way. It takes time for people to reach maturity enough to do that. The other dream I had was on the 4th of July. I had a dream that I was at this restaurant, and I don't know another way to describe it except hipster. They sold Subway-style sandwiches, and they had a really exotic menu. So, in the dream, I asked her, the lady behind the counter who worked there, but was also the owner, what kind of, I said, I want a sandwich. And she said, what kind of meat do you want on it? And I was like, well, what kind of meat do you have? And she starts listing all these really exotic meats and animals I was like, I don't understand. And I don't remember all the animals she said. I just remember the last one was eagle. And I was like, eagle? What does that taste like? And there was a girl behind me in line that was like, oh my gosh, you have eagle? And she was so excited. And the woman was like, yes, we do. And I was like, I'll just have beef. And she was like, okay. Like, that was so average. And I got a side salad with it. Well, she rang me up and put my sandwich on a tray, and I went and took it to a booth, but I had to make my own salad, like a salad bar. And in this restaurant, it was set up like a grocery store. They had tons and tons of stuff. So many shelves with clear plastic bins where you could find so much different kinds of food. And by the time I made my salad and came back, my table had been cleared and my sandwich was gone. And I went up to the counter to complain to the lady, my food has been bust. And she apologized and said, oh, we'll make you another one. Sorry, we're trying to keep the restaurant clean because there's a news station coming to do a piece on us. And I was like, okay. So I waited and waited. And I told her, I got here at noon and it's 2 and I still haven't eaten. That's a long time to wait for a sandwich. I could have already gone somewhere else and gotten food. And she's like, well, I'm so sorry, but I actually have to go outside. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, okay. So I went behind the restaurant with her, and there were these 2 metal structures that the next day I realized were transmission towers, like what holds up power lines. But there were no power lines connected to them, and on the way up were like pallets of wood, and they were holding supplies like uniforms, food, everything that they would need for the restaurant. In the dream, the owner lady was talking to some of the workers who were outside around and on these towers, and they found out that their state had switched from a Republican state to a Democrat state in a recent election. And they were all like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. And in the dream I was surprised because these were like young people younger than me. I'm 31, and like the younger generation than me. And I thought that they would have preferred to be Democrat, but in the dream they were not happy about it. And all of a sudden, one of the 2 towers falls down, and the one next to it starts to tip. And there are people on these towers, but they're jumping off, and everybody's fine. And everybody runs to the second tower and stabilizes it so it doesn't fall. But I'm wondering what's going on. Why is this happening? And I look and see that the sun is about to set. Maybe it's like 6 or 7-ish, maybe 8-ish at the latest. So there's a lot going on in that dream. I felt like it was about the church trying to be cool and hip and different. Even sacrificing its prophets, maybe. That could be what the eagles mean, like eating eagle meat, because a lot of times the prophetic is represented by the eagle. It's also a forbidden animal in the Old Testament, though, so it's kind of a thing where are we partaking of things? I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's not good. The beef I requested represents more like the meat of the word and more a traditional, normal kind of food, and that wasn't cool to them. The transmission towers in the back didn't carry power lines, so they weren't functioning the way they were supposed to. They were being used to hoard stuff, like in supplies. And I'm not saying the church is like hoarding supplies, but instead of using things that God gave to demonstrate His power, maybe they're using them for the wrong purpose. And also the lady, instead of being concerned about my food, was more concerned about this news station coming and doing a piece on them. And so I felt like it was kind of the Lord speaking about the church, maybe caring more about appearance and being a certain way that led to instability and certain things that were going to fall because of that. Those were the 3 dreams I wanted to share, and I'm almost out of time on my phone filming this video, or I would share more, but those were the 3 that I wanted to share mostly. I hope you guys are continuing to dream with God and experience His love 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I that those dreams bless you. Feel free to discuss or not discuss. Doesn't matter to me. I just wanted to share. And I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.